Okay, here is the old man Gepetto, and he tried to carve a little boy by using a wood. Okay. Once there was an old wood carver called Gepetto who longed to have a child of his own. So he decided to make a puppet that would be just like a real boy. I shall call him Pinocchio, said Gepetto as he began to carve the wood. A moment later, he had a surprise. As soon as Gepetto carved Pinocchio's mouth, his cheeky little puppy stuck out his tongue and laughed at him. Gepetto's surprises were not over. As he put the finishing touches to Pinocchio, the puppet kicked the old man on the nose and ran right out of the door. "Come back!" cried Gepetto, but Pinocchio ran on down the street, right into the arms of a policeman. Passers-by stopped and gathered around. "Let me go," they pleaded. "That old man's a bully. He's pulled the puppies to pieces if he gets him back." So the policeman let Pinocchio go and arrested Gepetto instead. Okay, here's a Pinocchio sitting on his bed, and you can see there's a cricket, a bug on the wall, and a candle, and there's a quilt. He's on the bed. As soon as the old man had been taken away, Pinocchio returned home. Now he could do just as he liked. As he lay down on the bed to rest, he heard a tiny voice nearby. "I'm the talking cricket," it said. "Be careful, boys. Who don't listen to their fathers are always sorry later." But Pinocchio ignored the cricket. So now Pinocchio wants to eat, so he cracked eggs. Then suddenly there's a bird flying out. Wow, surprised him. After a while, Pinocchio began to feel hungry, so he looked around for something to eat. At last, he found an egg. When he took it to the fire and tried to cook it, a little chicken popped out and flew away. "I will just stay here by the fire and keep warm," thought Pinocchio. Very soon the lazy puppet was fast
Bet you
asleep.
didn't know. The show where we tell you things that all.
Okay, now the Gepetto got the Pinocchio back, and his legs are burned out, but he gave him some pear to eat. Well, looks like he likes it. When Gepetto came home, he discovered that the fire had burned off the puppy's feet. "Poor Pinocchio," said Gepetto sadly, giving him some pears to eat. "I will make you some new feet, and I will get you some clothes so that you can go to school like a real boy. Capito was so poor that he had to sell his coat to buy Pinocchio a spelling book for school. Now, off you go, he said, handing Pinocchio the book. On his way to school, the naughty little puppet heard some music playing. That sounds exciting, he thought. I'll go and see where it's coming from. It won't matter if I'm late for school. So here's the man who runs the puppy show. He's playing two puppets, and then it's a two puppies, hand on his belly. And Pinocchio was so excited, he wanted to see it. The music was coming from a traveling puppet show. The puppies invited Pinocchio to join them. You'll soon be rich and famous, they said. The puppet master was angry at first, for the new puppet had almost stopped the show. But he soon forgave Pinocchio and let him dance and sing with all the other puppets. Next morning, the puppet master was much more friendly. He sent Pinocchio home with the 5 gold coins to give to Capito. As Pinocchio set off for home, he met a cat and a fox. The cat was pretending to be blind, and the fox was pretending to be lame. Really, though, they were thieves. The two wicked animals tried to steal Pinocchio's money, but he managed to run away. The thieves were so angry that they caught him and left him dangling from a tall oak tree. So then Pinocchio is running away, and the fox and the cat, the bad fox and the bad cats, chasing after him. Luckily, a beautiful blue fairy who lived nearby rescued Pinocchio and took him to her home. The fairy knew that the puppy master had given Pinocchio some money, but when she asked Pinocchio about it, he said he had lost the coins. As soon as he told this lie, Pinocchio's nose began to grow longer and longer. The fairy laughed. That's what happens when you tell lies, she said. Pinocchio was sorry he had been naughty again. I wish I were a real boy, he told the fairy. Can you help me to become one? Yes, said the blue fairy with a smile, but only if you are good and kind and brave. Then she told him how to get home to Capito. Well, then the cunning fox and the slimy cat, they want to persuade Pinocchio something. You can see there's an owl or birds on the top of the tree and a little rabbit, and they're coming out. I want to see what happened. Pinocchio hadn't got very far when he met the cat and the fox again. This time they did steal his money. Pinocchio asked the policeman for help, but before he could explain what had happened, he found himself thrown into prison. To make matters worse, he heard that Capito was missing. The old man had gone to sea to look for Pinocchio, and his ship had been wrecked in a storm. When Pinocchio was let out of prison, he really meant to go to school and be good, but he met some bad boys who persuaded him to run away. Though he had fun at first, Pinocchio was soon in trouble again. In a place in a place called Toyland, he and the bad boys were all turned into donkeys. Pinocchio was put to work in a circuit. One day he hurt his leg and couldn't work anymore, so he was thrown into the sea. As soon as he hit the water, Pinocchio turned into a puppet again. Then, as he drifted to the bottom, he was swallowed by an enormous fish. So Pinocchio and Capito, they both were swallowed by the big fish, so they were reunion in the belly of the big fish. Pinocchio was amazed to find Capito inside the fish's belly, alive and well. This time, Pinocchio wasn't naughty too lazy. Bravely, he led the kind old man to safety. The blue fairy had been watching. "You deserve to have your wish, Pinocchio," she said, and to everyone's delight, she turned him into a real live boy at the last.